Wintering, questing in reflection, brought to you by the Glimmer Seekers Collective. I truly hope that you enjoy this, and let's go. So, winter can be a tough time if you don't follow your body's natural responses to the seasonal energies. In winter, much of the natural world goes into hibernation, and to a certain extent, so do we. Obviously, we don't go into a deep sleep like all the bears and the hedgehogs and those lovely, lovely creatures. Although I'm very sure that we would quite like to. But we do tend to find ourselves going into rest mode, needing to spend more time in cozy spaces and becoming more introverted than extroverted. And that's totally normal. So, of course, pushing yourself into spring mode too soon can be more detrimental than helpful. As a society, we are pushed to do lots of energetic things in January. We are encouraged to set resolutions and big goals that honestly our body, spirit and mind, they're not ready for it yet because we are still at the stage of wintering. This sadly can often end up with us failing and making us feel quite, monkey pants about ourselves, and putting us on a bit of a back foot when we should really be flowing forward. By connecting with the seasonal energies, we can totally combat that. In the Glimmer Seekers, we look to the energetic cycles to guide us, to work in symbiosis with ourselves, our passion business, and of course, our amazing communities that connect with us. So let's take a look at what the current seasonal energy is and how we work with it to bring out the best in us and our passion businesses. So, winter energy. Winter energy is a season of introspection, rest, and planning for the future. Not hardcore planning, but planning for the future. Winter is about rest, it's about self-nurture, looking inwards for introspective wisdom, reflecting and shaking off anything that we don't need to take forward into spring, where the energy is centered around growth, springing forward and taking action. A lot of what we need to do when we are in the winter stage for your business is reviewing and reflecting. And it's really, really important thing to do, because if you don't spend time reviewing and reflecting, how are you going to know what's working and what's not? And by looking in reflection and looking at what has worked and what hasn't, what might be the seed of something that could work, but maybe we've done it not quite in the right way, doing the exercise of looking back is how we can then take ourselves forward when we get to spring, which is when we will do kind of forward planning and forward intention setting and planning and putting some goals and visions in motion. So, review and reflection is where you currently are, and it's really important to do, and it works perfectly in sync with the winter energy. Take some time to look at where you're putting your energy and see what's elevating you and what just doesn't feel right. Your intuition is going to play a huge part in this. So taking time to really listen to yourself and listen to that internal voice is going to be really important part of this exercise. And using the introspective nature of winter is a really fabulous way for you to connect with your intuitive wisdom. And once you've connected, your intuition is never going to shut up. Over the next few pages of your guide, we are going to take some time to reflect on your past year and look at 3 points of focus. We're going to look at celebration. Celebration is such an important thing to do. We do not spend enough time stopping and looking back and celebrating and allowing ourselves to be proud of ourselves. So we are actively going to do that. We are going to look at friction. What are the bumps in the road? What are the things that are perhaps slowing us down? And then we're going to look at letting go, because through the year it's very likely that you have let some stuff go, or you're at a stage where you're feeling like there's something you need to let go, and honouring that and allowing space for that to be okay is a really, really important thing to do. So each one of these three things, celebration, friction, and letting go, has its beauty and challenges. You need to get comfortable. You need to make sure that before you kind of come into these things, go for a walk, clear your head, do some meditation, do some mindfulness, do some dancing, get your energy flowing and find yourself in a good mental state to be able to do this. Some of this work can be very challenging. Some of this work can be quite revealing, and we're not always ready for that. So please make sure that you are in the right mental headspace to be able to do this reflection work. And most of all, you need to be compassionate and kind with yourself. Your business is a creative being or entity that has come from you and your passion. So make sure that everything within it works together as a flowing organism. And that's a really important thing to remember. Everything that is you is also within your business. And the two are very intertwined. And that's why in the Glimmer Seekers we look to energy and not just following the traditional marketing process. We look to flow.